Hi, I'm Dr. Entwistle here at Pain Free Orlando, and we're talking about stretching, specifically the quads. And Michelle has a question that you probably have as well.
So Doc, what happens if your quads are too tight and you don't stretch at all?
Fantastic, okay? So we know that what the muscles do, right? Well, muscles move joints, right? They affect the joints that they span, that they go between, that they connect, right? So Michelle, I'm just gonna have you sit here for a second. Okay, sit back just a little bit. So what do the quads do? The best way we can understand problems with not stretching them is understanding the mechanism, right? So what the quads do, so just extend your foot out. So when we tighten the quads, when we stimulate these muscles, they extend the lower leg. That's what they do. That's their mechanism. And where do they begin? They begin up here on the hip. They span across the thigh, and they actually go down and connect to the lower leg below the kneecap, actually on our tibia. So what does that look like on a model? Okay. So if we were putting it right here next to Michelle, this is part of the quadricep muscle. Your kneecap, your patella, is actually inside the tendon of the quadricep. Isn't that cool? It's actually inside. So if you look from the side, here's the tendon. Okay. This is the tendon for the quadricep, and the patella is actually inside that tendon. So when we go to bend the kneecap tracks or moves over this bone, which is your femur. Okay? So being able to move that joint is what the quadricep muscle does. So just extend out again for us. So just like this, that would be the motion, and then we go back and we're bent again. So knees are a critical part. Okay, quadricep health is a critical part in knee health. In addition to that, it also affects the health of your hip. Now, in the real world, what does that mean? Well, do you ever get up after sitting for a while and it's a little bit more difficult to straighten out? Well, if your quads are tight, it's going to do that because it's actually pulling your pelvis down and forward. What can that do? Well, think about what's above that, right? And that's your lower back. So now we're starting to irritate the lumbar spine, the lower back, and the nerve roots that extend from the lower back and go down into the legs. You ever hear of sciatica, right? Well, that's pain that goes down the back of the thighs, right? So when that happens, often one of the contributing factors is tightness in the quadricep muscles, as well as the other muscle groups like the hamstring and the calf. So if we can stretch the quads, we start to have better hip rotation, okay? We have better functioning of the knee joint, and that also is going to slow down the aging process in those joints, slow down the development of osteoarthritis or bony or aging arthritis, as we like to call it here in the office. So if we can keep the muscles healthy, right, the tendons healthy, and of course, the inside of the joint, the cartilage, which is one of the things that we specialize in, both knees, hips, and other joints in the body, that's going to make a big difference in your ability to function and do the things you want to do. And isn't that what life is all about, right? Whether it's athletics, right, Michelle? Or whether it's just getting through your day, working hard, playing hard, traveling the world, whatever it is, you need your body to do it, right? Because if we don't take care of our bodies, where are we going to live, right? So quadriceps, super, super important because they help to move two parts of the body. They really affect the knee joints as well as the hip and pelvis, right? So let's stretch those muscles. Let's do it in a way that's healthy for you, doesn't subject you to possible injury, and that's going to make a dramatic difference. I guarantee you stretch every day, you're going to feel the difference. You're going to feel better, and that's going to motivate you to even stretch even more. Can you imagine? And just to remind everybody, again, the 60-second hold, super important, right? We have to hold and do the stretch in an appropriate way, as Michelle has demonstrated.